What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon, Kindle, and Create Space. A link will be in the description box below as usual. This video is entitled Why Black Men Are Staying Single. Now, I have friends that are married and happily married. If I met the right woman, I wouldn't and would build a family with her. I would do that if I met the right person. But no. This comes about because I had a friend of mine earlier this week. We was having a conversation about marriage and kids, and she was asking a bunch of questions. So I can't speak for all brothers, but I'm gonna say some of the things I said that night. So she was asking me about marriage. I was like, well, I meet a lot of ladies who want to be married, who want to have a wedding, but they don't really want to be a wife. And I've said this before. Like, they want a wedding, they want a ring, but they don't actually want to be down for a man like as their husband, or if they want a husband in a way that he's the glorified errand boy, like that can do all the things for them that they need to be done. But they're kind of selfish. They're not kind of there, but they're selfish, and they want the guy to be on his own too. And these are kind of people that I've met in my time, where as a man you need to do this, and this. And as a woman, I'm just here. And, you need to do more for me. And then you do all these things. You've earned me to do this a little bit for you. And I'm not one of those people that believe that's how you're going to build a relationship or wind up getting married to somebody or grow a family with somebody. I think that's supremely selfish. So, but in that conversation, she got what I was saying because, she sees that a lot too. And then she asked about the kids. I'm like, you going to have more kids? I'm like, hell no. If I ain't getting married, then why am I gonna make more kids? I got one, and I ain't trying to have no more anyways. Plus all the drama that's involved with it. I was like, I don't want to even put myself in a position to be in that position again, And I was like, it's nothing in it for a guy. Like if I was rich, I would probably do it because I could, And that's what I was talking to her about. I was like, a lot of this is about money, not about parenting, not about raising a child to be a proper adult or and make them a suitable partner for somebody in the future. It's just about cash and a power struggle. So I'm not feeling that, right? So me personally, that's part. And I'm saying nothing that's different from some of the guys that I know who stay single. It's like, I'm not feeling it. Like, I don't need to deal with all that shit. As far as the give and take, it depends. Like, I'm a guy who's given a whole lot more than I've gotten out of women. And I'm not going to say it's bitter because, as a guy, you're supposed to do, but when you notice somebody's not doing something, you're not on somebody's agenda or radar. They're not. They don't have any want to do anything for you. You don't really, you don't think about pursuing anything further. So that's another thing. Like, I talked about a situation I had with an ex where she came by, and she would always come by, and she was like, being around you is like my place of peace. And then I was like, well, I'm glad you feel that way. But don't you think you need to be my place of peace then? And then she had this blank look like, I'm like, okay. So, that ended in us going our separate ways because that was a one-way street at the end of the day. Is what it is. So that type of stuff is an issue because brothers stay single because they, and I've been around the block enough to know, like, I'm not a perfect guy. I don't do perfect things, But one thing, things that I'm not a liar. I'm not a cheater. If I don't like you no more, I just straight up tell you, look, I don't like you no more. We should need to go our separate ways. That's how I get down. I don't believe in. And that's another thing, like the drama is a turnoff. all the anger and the angst and the arguing for nothing, for like meaningless things, is a turnoff. You know, and that's a problem. You know, the other thing is dating of a lifestyle. I don't want to date somebody who's dating my lifestyle. You know, you could benefit off my lifestyle if me and you cool like that, but you dating me because you're dating my lifestyle. But so if the lifestyle changes, you don't rock with me no more. Like, you gotta understand, like, you don't have to understand. I'm just saying this is from a male perspective. From where I started to where I'm at is drastically different. And some of the women who I know know where I started, and they know where I'm at now. And those same women, they like me now, but they didn't like me then. But as far as character, I'm the same person. I was hardworking then, I'm hardworking now. I was honest then, I'm honest now. I was nice then, I'm nice now. But what's different is the lifestyle is different. So now that the lifestyle is different, they do that. Oh, you so, I like you now. Like, now? No, thank you. So that's a reason why, I don't do the fair weather, good timey type people. I've never been that way. And part of these relationships and having children is really rooted in like being a scavenger, and a physical thing. Like, I'm not like, some of y'all don't realize this. I got on the scale. I think I'm 170. I think 165, 170, whatever. But I used to be smaller, and and people who know me, and I crack up with some of the females I know. If you gain weight, you'd be so sexy. If you did this, you would be so sexy. If you look this way, you would be this. And it was always, and I guess, they thought that self-esteem, reverse psychology thing would work with me. But I've always been a work in progress. I always believed in getting better. So with all of the if I was this or if I was that, I would be a better catch. I was working to be a better man regardless. So when I hit their benchmarks in their mind, they didn't hit any in my mind, but I didn't put them out there like that. But at the same time, they've been on a decline. So, now sometimes I make those kind of women uncomfortable, because for years they told me what I wasn't. Now I am the thing that they thought was attractive back in the day, because they're still stuck in that type, I guess. Now I'm attractive, but I'm not attracted to them, and it's an awkward space because they know that I'm not attracted to them, and they know why. You know what I'm saying? And when I meet new women, it's different. It's very much so different, because you got, when I'm talking to younger women, thing about staying single is, some younger women are stuck between that old abrasive ideology and figuring out that it's not, that nobody wants to be around that, so they kind of vacillate between the two, and you understand that because they're younger and grow. And some women are grown and they just are who they are, and it just doesn't gel. You know what I'm saying? Like, ultimately, you just don't want to be around people who don't want to work as a team. And like, I was I forgot where I was at, but I was talking to somebody at the time, and they thought that undermining their man was cute. And I had to explain to them that, this is why I wouldn't talk to somebody like you, because there's no way I'm gonna go bust my ass and come home to a person like you who wants to undercut everything I'm doing because you want to create drama and get the attention in the situation. I ain't got time for that. You know, so you'd rather stay single. You know what I'm saying? Yes, it saves you money. You know, absolutely. But sometimes it also saves you. It gives you peace of mind. And like my married friends get it because my married friends were single before, and they know people out here. They know they're like, you know, they don't want to be single again because they met people that are a great fit for them and they work together well. But they also get that it's better to stay single in this environment because most people aren't who they say they are. So, and you know, some of the females I know, uh, they want to be, they want a perfect situation and be an imperfect woman, and it's like, eh. And people, we're not perfect people, but you know, there's certain things you would rather not deal with. You know, we all have deal breakers, and I think people have an issue with black men having deal breakers, and I've spoken about that already. You know, and the other thing is about kids. Like, I've only met 2 women in my life. Like most women who have kids, they want me to be a father figure, but I've only met 2 women in my life, and I dated one, and the other I didn't. You know, she's actually like family in a sense. But 2 in my life who wanted to be a mother figure to another man's child, to her man's child. Just 2. So, you know, that whole thing is, you know, a catch in itself because you want something that you're not willing to give. And that's part of the single thing is because there's too many selfish people out here. Everybody's out for self. Like I said, people want a wedding, but they don't want to be a wife. You know, people want to have kids, but they don't want to actually be parents together. And then people want to be in relationships, but they want the relationships to flow in a social media season, you know, like it was sundress season, and that was, you know, was you know, the side piece season, or get a new bass season, or it's summertime, so I got to be free season, it's time to vacation, and that whole bullshit, man, because the very things you're doing as a trend are the very thing is, you know, the same thing make you laugh, make you cry. And I've seen that so many times where people follow all these trends, and I'll say this personally. I know so many women in my past who had so many complaints about me that was so silly and superficial that now wish that they had me in their life. And that's part of the reason why I stay single, is because, you know, even though I know I have my ways that aren't good, for the most part, my ways are very good because they try to meet men to imitate the things that I've done. And if what I do ain't good enough, you can find somebody else. And when I know for the last 15 years, numerous women haven't been able to find somebody else, but I've pretty much stayed the same on how I treat women, I'm cool with it. And, you know, and if I'm not getting that in return, I'm cool with playing that game. I'm not finna do all that shit. So, black men staying single. I mean, a black man staying single, right? But that's just part of my ideology about this. So, Bob Michelle's in the background. Right. We out.